Good morning, grade 8 students. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to start a new activity, activity 5, usage of nutrients and oxygen gas by the cells. Please open your books page 64 and write some notes. The objectives of today's video are to define cellular metabolism and to explain the two processes of oxidation and assimilation. The activity of body organs requires nutrients and oxygen gas that are absorbed far from the sites of their usage. For instance, nutrients are absorbed from the small intestine directly after digestion, while oxygen is obtained from the alveolar air. These necessary substances, the nutrients and the oxygen, are then transported in the blood and distributed to body cells. What happens at the level of body cells? Cellular metabolism occurs. What do I mean by cellular metabolism? In cellular metabolism, there are many chemical reactions that involve oxidation and assimilation. We already saw oxidation. So oxidation is the process by which the cells produce energy from the degradation of nutrients. However, due to assimilation, cells now can manufacture or synthesize new organic matter. Let's define cellular metabolism. Cellular metabolism is the sum of all chemical reactions that take place in the cell. It consists of the series of chemical reactions of synthesis or assimilation and degradation, also known as oxidation. So cellular metabolism consists of assimilation and oxidation. Look here, for example, in this picture. Here the cell can take oxygen gas and the glucose to undergo oxidation. This oxidation produces energy and waste, for example, carbon dioxide. Other nutrients such as fatty acids, glycerol, and amino acids can be absorbed also by the cell. However, due to specific information here found in the nucleus, these amino acids, for example, will be transformed back into protein, or fatty acids and glycerol will be transformed to lipids. So this is the process of assimilation. In case of oxidation, energy is produced. However, in case of assimilation, nutrients are transformed back into organic matter. For example, again, amino acids into protein, fatty acids, glycerol into lipids. The process of oxidation. Nutrients are carried by the blood, enter the cells where they are broken down in the presence of oxygen gas. This is called the oxidation of nutrients. So look here, for example, in the picture. Nutrients and oxygen are absorbed by the cells. So they undergo the oxidation reaction. Nutrients in this case will be degraded to produce energy. This process provides the cells with energy that they use to function. The energy is used for cellular activity, thermoregulation, which is the regulation of body temperature, and also for assimilation. We will see later assimilation. Substances that make part in these reactions are called metabolites, such as glucose and sometimes fatty acids. So the nutrients in this reaction are called metabolites. The process of assimilation. Cells of the body continuously make use of nutrients, some of which serve to form a new organic matter, and this is called assimilation, while other nutrients are used for oxidation. Directly see this picture. Nutrients such as glucose and sometimes fatty acids in the presence of oxygen undergo the oxidation to produce energy and waste. While in case of assimilation, Nutrients such as amino acids and fatty acids in the presence of energy produce back protein and lipids respectively. Nutrients involved in this process are amino acids and the fatty acids. The production of new matter, the production of new protein, new lipid, allows growth, renewal of cells, and putting in reserve certain substances such as lipids. This slide is showing two examples, one for oxidation and the other for assimilation. Let's see the first one. Here the cell is consuming nutrients and oxygen to produce waste and energy. This is oxidation, or in other words, here the cell is degrading nutrients in the presence of oxygen to produce waste and energy. However, in the second picture, these are fat cells. As you all know that fat cells store fats or store lipids. How? Due to assimilation. These cells absorb fatty acids and glycerol from the blood, and in the presence of energy, lipids are formed. An example of an assimilation is the formation of proteins. So let's read this experiment. Rats are given amino acids injected with radioactive carbon atoms, which is a labeled substance. So in order to follow up what happens to the amino acid, I can inject radioactive carbon. It marks the amino acid. It labels the amino acid. And let's observe what would happen to the labeled amino acid. So in the first one here, the rat is consuming labeled amino acids. And after a few hours, we notice that the labeled amino acids are located in all cells of the rats. How did the labeled amino acid become proteins? By the process of assimilation. So look here, this is the protein. It's a group of amino acids. We said that proteins are made up of long chains of amino acids. Okay? But how? How did assimilation occur? To answer this question, please look at this figure. In the blood, when the rat consumes amino acids, so these amino acids are absorbed in the small intestine and distributed to the cells. So here, as you can see, in the blood there are different types of amino acids, and the cell here is absorbing the amino acids. And due to certain information found in the nucleus, the amino acids are rearranged to synthesize a new protein. So as you can see here, amino acids are attached again to form a new protein. There are 20 different types of amino acids. The variety of proteins depends on the number of amino acids and the specific order of amino acids. We will see later an example. The cell manufactures specific protein according to a genetic program localized in the nucleus of the cell. So inside the nucleus of the cell, there is an order. This order allows to synthesize different types of protein. Consider two proteins, A and B. Note, there are 20 different types of amino acids. You are not required to know the name of these amino acids. However, in this example, different colors represent different amino acids, so each amino acid is represented by a color. Observe these two proteins, A and B. Let's count the number of amino acids in each one. So in A, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 amino acids. However, in B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these two proteins differ in the number of amino acids. What about the sequence of amino acids? In A, amino acids are arranged in the following order: blue, black, yellow. However, in B, black, yellow, blue. So as you can see that the sequence of amino acids is also different in these two proteins. So these two proteins are different and have different functions. They differ in the number and the arrangement of amino acids. From where do they get this order? From the nucleus, from the information found inside the nucleus. Today's session is finished. Please copy this conclusion on your copybook and memorize it. Thank you and see you soon.